What if you could build and launch an entire Meta ad account? Dozens of image ads, scroll-stopping UGC videos, even claymation ads, using nothing but your voice and Claude Code. No designer, no video editor, no VA, and no touching ads manager. I'm about to do all of it live in this video, and I'm giving you the exact system that I'm going to be using for free. First, I'm going to take one product photo and turn it into 30 image ads across totally different styles without writing a single prompt. Then I'm going to show you how to clone any ad that you see in the wild, a competitor's winner, a random ad in your feed, and rebuild it with your own product in seconds. Then we go into video. I'll show you the full AI UGC creative workflow and how to nail perfect character consistency. Then I'll show you how you can add B-roll, lo-fi sound effects, background music, voiceover, everything that you possibly would add to a video and have to edit and post, you can do inside of Claude Code. No opening CapCut, no Canva, no Adobe, no Final Cut Pro. Literally, you're just talking to Claude as if it was your creative manager. I'll even take a random TikTok and show you how I can recreate it shot for shot using one of my own products. Plus, I'll show you how to make animation style ads that look like claymation or Pixar style. And then finally, I'm going to show you my favorite part of this entire system, launching the ads into your actual ad account without you touching Ads Manager. Claude is able to pull all the data from your ad account and learn exactly what's working. Not only that, but it can scan all of your image and video ads to understand with perfect context what every ad should be about, and then write you the perfect ad copy that is specific to every single ad. This system alone will save you hours every single day and give you the unlock you need to launch more ads in your account today. And the best part, this lives in a free GitHub repo that I built that you can get in the description below. If you've never used Claude Code and have no idea how to even use GitHub, it doesn't matter. Literally all you have to do is grab the link that you get, toss it into Claude Code, and it will handle the entire setup for you. So if you run meta ads or want to run meta ads, this video is the cheat code that you've been waiting for. And this might be one of the most important videos you watch all year. Let's get into it. All right, so the first step in getting all this set up is getting Claude Desktop installed onto your computer. So you're gonna go to claude.com/download and click this download for macOS button. Once you have Claude Desktop installed, it should look something like this. We'll have Cowork, and then over here we'll have Code. This is what we're gonna be using today. So go ahead and click on Code. And we're going to click this new session button. The way Claude Code works, everything exists within a folder on your desktop. So we have to create a new folder for this. So I'm in Finder right here, and I'm just going to click new folder and call this AI Meta Ads Demo. So now I've got a folder here. I can pop back into Claude Code. Down here, you'll see a couple different settings. Here you'll see a folder. You can click Open Folder. And then I'm going to navigate to where it exists on my computer. And now you can see we're working out of that new folder we selected. The next step here is to grab the URL for the repo here. You can get that in the description below. So now we're going to paste in the GitHub URL to this project and just say something super simple like, help me set this up. So now Claude Code is going to fetch the repo. It's going to like read the README and start doing stuff. You'll see some of this stuff pop up where it's like asking you to allow. For your mode, I would suggest going to auto mode. If you know exactly what you're doing, you're really advanced and you trust the repo, I would do bypass permissions. But again, like this is the more risky option. Bypass permissions allows Claude Code to basically do anything on your computer. Auto mode is the safer bet and usually gives you everything that you need to get this installed. While this starts to get everything set up, we're gonna pop over to Meta to grab some keys that we need. So we're gonna go to developers.facebook.com. If you're logged in, you should see this My Apps thing. And this is just your normal Facebook login. And this step is super important. It's literally what unlocks this entire project or agent to do everything that we're gonna do in this video. So make sure you do these steps to get essentially what we're getting is our Meta API key. So we're gonna click Create App. And I'm just gonna call it Claude Code Meta Ads. I'm going to change this email to caleb@mrpaidsocial.com. We're not allowed to use meta in the name, so I'm going to call it Claude Code ads. And we want to create and manage ads with the marketing API. So we're going to click this first one. I'm going to select my business that I've created in Meta. And then we're just going to click create app. It's going to ask us to authenticate. All right, so now we've created the app. There's a couple more steps we have to do to get this thing live. First thing we're gonna do is go to app settings, basic, and then we need to put a privacy policy URL in here. This can literally be any privacy policy URL because you're not making an app for public use. This is all just gonna be for internal. So you're going to select a privacy policy. You can just grab it from your website or a competitor's website, whatever you wanna do. I'm just gonna put in my Mr. Paid Social one here, click Save Changes. And next, what we were going to do to get our API key is we're going to, on the left here, it says use cases. Click on that. And then there's this tools section here where it says get access token. Now we can select all of these permissions and select get token. And before we can use anything, we need to make sure that this is published. So we're going to click on this publish button and click this publish down here. So now that this is published, we can actually use that API key. So now we're going to grab our API key, pop back over to Claude Code here, and it's going to ask us to paste in our keys to this .env file. A .env file is basically a file that lives locally on your computer that stores sensitive information. So you never want to paste keys directly into Claude Code. That's a security risk because you could always come back into a chat, scroll through and find it. So to do this, the easiest way, what I like to say is ask Claude just to open this file for me. So I'm going to say, please open the .env file and give me, or so I can paste in the keys. I'm going to click Trust Workspace, and it looks like it opened the .env file for me in Finder. So I can pull that up here and show you what that looks like. Basically, this is just like a template for all of the different keys that it needs. So we've got a placeholder for our ArcAds API key. I'm not seeing the Meta API key here, so I can just tell Claude, I have my Meta API key and I need to add that to the .env file. Can you make sure that there's a placeholder for that? Open that .env file for me one more time. Okay, now it added some more options here for the .env file. I'm gonna put where it says meta access token. I'm gonna paste this in here. And then the next thing we need to do is grab our ArcAds API key. So to do that, we're just gonna go to arcads.ai. If you don't have an account, make sure you log in or sign up. Full disclosure, for this API to work, you have to be on the Pro plan. So I'm going to click on the top left icon here, click on the settings for my account. There's a public API area here, create new credentials. And I'm going to copy my client authorization down here, go over to the environment variables, and paste that in there. And now I can close this .env file and tell Claude, okay, I've added my environment variables for Meta and ArcAds. Both API keys are in that file. What's next? And this is what's so cool about Claude Code is I've done this multiple times. I messed it up. I pasted it in the wrong area and it's automatically changing where it puts that for me. Okay, it looks like we forgot to add our Meta ad account that we want to be connected. I could just tell this to not have a selector in the environment variables and just like use the API key, but I do think it's a little bit more secure just to limit access to only one ad account. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it to open the file one more time. Open the .env file one more time so I can paste in my ad account ID. While it's doing that, I'm going to pop over to Ads Manager. I go to my ad account and I'm just going to grab my ad account ID from the URL right here. And I'm going to paste my ad account ID there, close this. Hey, I just added my ad account ID. We should be good, right? Looks like I forgot to add the ACT underscore, so it's fixing that for me. I know this first setup might feel like a lot, but you only have to set this up once and then you get the full power of this entire system. Looks like we got it verified that the ArcAds API key works, our meta token is valid and working, and our ad account is correct. Okay. So now the first example we're going to go through using this whole Claude Code setup is I have a series of, I think, 36 different image templates that I've put into this repo that I'm going to use to generate images for a fictional product that I made for my Mr. Paid Social brand. So I like my hats. I've got this cool hat with Mr. Paid Social branding. I made this with AI, but we're just going to use this for the example. So I'm going to take this product image. I'm going to toss it into Claude Code. And then I'm going to say something like, I want you to generate static image ads across all the templates in this repo for this product. And then I'm going to give it my URL. Because I'm not actually selling this on an e-com store, I'm just pointing it to my school community. It's going to be kind of weird. Like we're going to have some like interesting text on these ads, but with an e-com product, but it's totally fine. And I'm just going to press enter. And right now Claude is basically just doing some investigative work, trying to figure out like where the templates are and all that good stuff. All right. So it told me that there's a couple blockers that it needs me to clarify. One is it needs the image file on the disk. So basically this is just a weird quirk with Claude Code where it needs the file in the actual folder. So I'm just going to copy that file and go to this folder here that we created, create a new folder, call it product reference image. And I'm just going to paste that in there. I'm going to right click on it, click get info. And I'm just going to give it this like where it exists and click Command C to copy that and paste that here. So I'm going to say this is the product image location. For number 2, it's asking me about which workspace. I'm going to say just create a new folder in the main ArcAds workspace. I'm going to tell it I want you to use ChatGPT image 2 for generating all these. Let's go ahead and start with 5 to make sure we nail everything down correctly. All right, so now we've got 5 different templates. We've got a fake ChatGPT, a fake Slack, a brutal honest typography hero, an iMessage thread, and a stat hero with chart. And it's going to generate all these for us, all the prompts and everything. So you can see it says creating. We can click into this thing and see exactly what's going on. I can even open this and see like what the prompt that it's writing looks like. Now it is running all of these in parallel, meaning it's sending all of them at the same time. So you see down here it says running 5 in parallel. It shows you like all the code. Basically, it's structuring all of the prompts with the images and packaging all of that to send out to the ArcAds API. And then in ArcAds, we're going to see some images start to populate. All right, it looks like 4 out of the 5 succeeded. For some reason, one of them failed, but then it's automatically going to retry that. And here's my favorite part about using Claude Code for this is it's, so it says all 5 generated. Let me view each one and assess quality before recommending next steps. So it's going to automatically do a pass of the images and see how they turned out. And if they look like garbage, it's going to flag that and then refine the prompt and retry or give you the option to like tell it what you want it to do. But it just takes some of like the mental load off of even having to think about if you do this like on 100 images, right? Like that's a lot to have to sift through in QA or QC or whatever. And right now it looks like one of them, it's saying the composition's off and it's giving us some options, approve all 5. Let's see if we can actually look at these. I'm going to say open the folder that all of these images exist in because we want to see them. Okay, and so now we've got this folder here. Cool. We've got one ad here. Got another ad here. Here's one that actually used the hat, dressed like you actually scale spend. This is hilarious. That looks pretty dope, actually. Here's an iMessage one and Stat Hero. I mean, it definitely like did a good job incorporating the hat into some of these. So this is pretty sweet. Okay, so now I'm going to say those pretty much all look great. Let's run this for all remaining 32 ad templates. Also, for the output, can you not put them all in separate folders? I want them all in one folder so I can easily review them at the same time. And by the way, you might have noticed that I'm just talking to my computer. I use something called WhisperFlow. They are not a brand partner, but I genuinely love their product. Basically, it's just something that allows you to talk to your computer, and it will it's just a way better voice transcription, and you get it'll make lists and stuff for you if you have a lot of things you're saying. And I have a shortcut on my mouse. So all I have to do is hold down this middle button, or hold down something on your keyboard, and you just talk to your computer. So anyway, big shout out to WhisperFlow. Big fan of them. Okay, this is pretty dope. Now it's firing off all of the remaining 32 in parallel, which means that it's sending them all to the API at the same time. So basically we're having 32 ads just generated for us in the background with us having, I'm not prompting, I'm literally, you can see I'm just do this, do that, and what's beautiful here is in Claude Code, you can have multiple agents running at the same time. So we could have another session where we're using the same folder and we're prompting it to do something else, like work on a video or work on cloning an image ad or any of these things that I'm going to show you to do next in the video. But we could be doing this all at the same time. And then instead of you having to be the one creating these things, you're acting as the creative director, overseeing all of these separate agent workflows that are generating your images, your videos, blah, blah, blah. It's just you can do so much more when you're not doing one thing at a time and you're delegating it all out to these agents to do it for you. So it's saying now we're done with all 32 templates. So let's take a look at how they turned out. Okay, so now we've got our 32 images done. Let's take a look at how they look. Why I switched to the Mr. Paid Social hat. Here we've got an editorial style, modern retail, looks pretty legit. Premium performance gear, hot take on the new media buyer uniform isn't a Patagonia vest. It's Mr. Paid Social 5-pounder corduroy. That's pretty cool, actually. I've got a Google ad, the best hat for media buyers on Loom calls. Okay, this is what's actually insane to me is I didn't write a single prompt for any of this. This is all templatized, and Claude Code took my image of the hat, took a little bit of image about what I offer, and made all these ads. We've got an us versus them comparison. This ruins your agency uniform. Got another us versus them template here. This looks so good. Got the Post-it note ad. We've got a whiteboard / poster board, whatever this is, but it's another us versus them kind of 5 reasons why ad. We've got a feature benefits ad. And this looks so good. The text is perfect. The letter board ad. Oh my gosh. We've got the, this is a comment response ad. Is the Mr. Paid Social hat worth it for an agency owner looking for something that doesn't scream tech bro vest? This is hilarious. How it started. It's showing the tech bro outfit. 8 whale corduroy. This is so cool. Okay, so this is a style of ad where it's breaking down all the different components of it. So it's zooming in on the corduroy fabric. We've got the patch, the sweatband, the adjustable strap, this is actually super cool. And if I didn't like this, I could throw this back into Claude Code and have it generate 100 variations of it for me, without me having to do anything. Brain space, running the test, brain space, what I should wear on Loom. Okay, cool. The old way versus the new way. Airdrop ads, ask me anything ads. This one turned out weird here. We've got the bill on the front and the back. So this is something where I could just throw that into Claude Code, have it clean it up. The napkin ad, this one included the CTA burned in. So this is something where if I was actually gonna run this, I would just tell it to strip that out and it would do it very easily. I think this turned out super good. We've got the calendar ad, which is kind of interesting. Before and after your next Loom call. Pretty dope. seat ads. This is insane. There's so many. One hat every operator, match operator status. Tired adjusting like a middle manager. This one got kind of like distorted, a little fat, so I could probably regenerate that. This is an editorial ad. This is insane. Next, I'm gonna show you how you can actually take an image ad or like a folder of image ads from like a competitor and make new ads with them with Claude Code. So for generating a copy or clone of an image ad, there's two ways we can go about it. One is we can just like be on our phone or use something like foreplay.co or Motion or any of these tools that have a lot of templates and ad spying capabilities. Or we can actually use Claude Code here and ask it to comb our competitors' ad libraries, which is pretty wild. So while we're looking and combing for some new ads to try, I'm also just going to start a new session here in this project. So I have my AI meta ads demo folder open, and here's what I'm going to say. I want you to comb through a few of my competitors running ads to their school communities. You can find my competitors by just looking at my URL and then combing through the school discovery and finding which communities are the largest and running ads to their schools for AI, automation, meta ads, all this good stuff. I want you to focus on pulling image ads for now. And if you can, I want you to find ads with like high impression count if that's something that the meta ads library API allows you to pull, but put all of these image ads into a folder. And then I want you to rank which ads you think would be the highest leverage for me to try for repurposing for my own school community. Here's my URL and I'm gonna press enter. To give us a good example of how to clone some ads, I found like 3 just like hat ads that I thought looked good or whatever that I want to try and clone with my fake hat product. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag these over into my folder, and I made a hat ads subfolder. And then I'm going to take the location of these. So I'm going to go right click on where, copy that, go to Claude Code and say, I want you to clone these ads using the image ad clone skill. I'm going to paste that and just see what happens. Now it's getting to work. It's found the clone skill with all the information in the repo, with all of the instructions and everything that's needed to make this work. And now it is setting up iterations for us to fire off into ARC ads. All right, now it's doing phase 2, which is the visual analysis, and it's breaking down each one of those image ads that I gave it into basically a format, and it's drafting the V1 of the prompts and firing them all off to ARC ads in parallel. While we're waiting on the new image clones, I wanted to check on the competitor analysis that we started a little bit while ago. So it like did all this stuff in Claude Code, used the meta ads API, found like people running school communities for me, blah, blah, blah. It was able to grab 1,200 results, kept 600 of them, downloaded 58 images, blah, 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 isolated like basically some gaps and whatnot, and then downloaded all these, put all these into a folder for me right here. And we've got all the different like competitors, and I can expand these and it shows me all the ads that they're running. So we've got some Ben Heath ads here. Mainly just like pictures of him with like simple text, with some reviews of his school community. We've got some from this guy. We've got some from Sam P. We've got his modules, some basic stuff here. Looks like some screenshots of people in school. So now we can take this information, and I'm going to ask Claude, can you generate 5 new image ads that you think would work well in my ad account for my specific school community based off of the research you've done on my competitors? Don't make anything up. Don't generate any fake reviews. And let me know if you need any images of me to use in the ads. All right, so I was asking for some images of myself, so I'm including this folder and saying, here's where you can find images of me to use for the ads. Another thing I like to do with Claude Code, if I like want to make sure it has more information, is I can say something like, I want you to interview me by asking me 10 questions and having me answer them to make these the best ads possible. Ideally, have me be able to like click a box to answer your questions, make them really easy for me to answer. And this is what I love right here with Claude Code. It'll pop up this like multiple choice question thing. So who is the number one person you want clicking on these ads? Agency owners, running meta ads, in-house media buyer at a brand, sole media buyer, freelancer, coach, course creator. I would say agency owners and in-house media buyers at a brand. What is the number one pain you'd put in the headline? Creative fatigue, running out of winning ad ideas, raising CPMs, AI overwhelm, probably AI overwhelm, since we're doing a lot of AI content here. What's the signature outcome members get? 10 times faster creative production via AI. Yes. Do you have real free entry point I can promote? Nope. Okay, so we got some ads back from Claude Code off of the competitor analysis that we had it do. So we got this one. Looks pretty solid. We've got like 2 versions of that. Here's another one that's kind of cool. Okay, I like this one. It's like got some scarcity. Overall looks pretty solid. And then let's see this last one. What you get at a masterclass. I mean, yeah, this one's also pretty solid. I would actually run all of these, I think. All right, now let's take a look at some of the clone version of the ads that it did for us here. So as a reminder, we had the version of the ad I saw that I liked. And this is the AI version that it made for me. So not bad. It didn't quite adhere to like the way the hats were stacked in this one, which is fine. We've got this image here and our version of the AI. So like, you know, actually looks pretty decent in comparison. We've got some fun marketing, media buying, random stuff on the back wall there. That's kind of cool. And then we've got this one, which was kind of like a more typical like ad look. And then we've got our ad here with the hat kind of following that same outline. So pretty cool. Did a really good job, I think, at like prompting everything in a way that clones the ads pretty close to the original. And the beautiful thing here is once you clone an ad, part of the skill is it saves it as another template. So like when I first started running this, we ran with 36 templates. So now we could add basically 3 more. So we'd have 39 templates that we could run an ad or a product through and have them all generate. So the more you do this, the more basically of a library you'll accumulate that you can just like always have, which is pretty dope. All right, now we're going to change gears a little bit and start generating some video ads using this Claude Code agent. For this one, we're going to use the workflow where you generate a starting frame for each scene and have a little bit more control. So we're going to prompt Claude Code to do that. So I'm going to say, I want to create a new AI UGC video, but I want to generate the starting frames for each scene using ChatGPT Image 2. Can you help me put this all together? I also want to generate a persona to use. So look through your skills to figure out the right way to do that. I believe there's a way where we can generate like a 10 image style sheet of a persona that we want to use for the ad, and then generate all the subsequent images using that person. I want all these images to be generated using ChatGPT Image 2, and then the video model to use will be Cdance 2.0. So I'm going to fire that prompt off. Here's the product. So I'm saying, here's the product. Persona description. Let's do a stressed stay at home mom is the persona. And then I want Claude to come up with a storyboard. So I'm going to say, you come up with the storyboard outline in the dialogue for us to use. And for this, I want to have dialogue from the character generated in Cdance. And so I'm going to respond with that stuff. While we're waiting on this, it looks like the one shot we tried failed from ARC ads for some reason. Let's see if it figured that out. It just said it failed, but not for technical reasons. Cdance content checker rejected the audio. It says audio output has sensitive content. Probably the trigger was combining Making Me Unwell, 2 weeks of these, and X happened. So my guess here is Claude Code is just going to regenerate a different script, and it looks like it's doing all that for us. Let's send this with the tweaked script for you to use. So now it's firing it off with V2. with the revised dialogue. Okay, so now it just needs us to basically say go to start creating the persona, the storyboard, and the dialogue. So went ahead and said go, and now it's working, it's doing its thing. Okay, so it went ahead and generated the first image of our character. Here she is. She's kind of the tired mom vibe. It's asking us if we want to go ahead and generate the other 9 angles. I'm going to just go ahead and say go. And now we're going to have basically this character in 9 different angles that we can use for prompting the rest of the scene. Okay, this is what's so sick about Claude. It's like it fired them all off and then it automatically goes and does QA on them. So it's telling me like, okay, angle 10 failed, angle 3 worked, 2 worked, 7 worked, 4, 6, 5. Yeah, now it's got all the angles, just QAing them now visually. So it went through and it QA'd all of them. It basically said they all passed the QA check. So here they all in their folder. Let's see how they look. So here's our hero image. Looks good. Wow, these all look extremely consistent. Got the close-up. Okay, this is wild. Like, look at the skin. Look at the freckles. Look at the like lighting off the skin, the hair. This looks actually realistic. And this all comes down to the prompting structure that Claude Code is set to use when generating these images, because it's saying like including blemishes, including wrinkles on the skin, basically all these keywords that allow these images to be generated without that like plastic look and feel that you get from AI images sometimes. We've got the back side, front center, walking. Yeah, we've got plenty of reference images here for our style sheet. So now it's asking us if we're ready for phase 2. Now we're going to generate 4 scenes, starting frames with the product shot. Okay, ready to go. Phase 2. I'm going to say, yeah, the reference images look amazing. Let's move on to phase 2. Okay, it looks like we've got the 4 scenes for this, like the starting images generated using ChatGPT Image 2, using our original like mom. We've got her in the kitchen, on the couch, holding the ashwagandha, opening it and taking a bite of it, and holding the ashwagandha again. And now we're going to basically have these 4 reference images be what we use for each of these scenes. So I need to approve the script, the per scene durations, and the credit estimate that it's going to cost. All right, scene 1, duration 10 seconds, hook in the kitchen, head shake, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I love my kids, but if one more person screams mom after or before 7 a.m., I'm gonna need something for my nerves. So I start taking these ashwagandha gummies, obviously game changer. 20 minutes in, my shoulders drop, I can actually breathe again. My mom life is wild. Oh, okay. All right, let's just send it. I'm just gonna say, send it. Let's see how it works. And what's pretty dope about this, it's gonna fire all these videos off into ARCADS at the same time. All the videos should ideally be done at the same time. And then from there, basically, we're gonna have Claude Code edit all the videos together with music, and it's gonna be dope. We just got a version of this video. Let's check it out.
Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started Mr. Paid Social ashwagandha gummies. 20 minutes in,
Dang.
my shoulders just drop. Honestly, game changer.
I mean, that was a pretty solid one shot. And look at this prompt that it put together. It's like super long, super detailed. We didn't write any of it. It gives exactly the beats for each section of the video, the different frames, what needs to happen. There was a slight thing here that, you know, she starts saying my shoulders drop, but it doesn't quite make it out of her mouth right. And then she says it again here. We can fix that in post. Also, I think it would be really dope to have Claude Code generate some AI B-roll for this video and throw in some music over it. So let's prompt it to do that next. All right, so now we're gonna tell Claude Code, now I wanna generate some B-roll to go along with this 15-second video. I wanna generate some B-roll shots of things like unboxing the product, maybe a scene with her kids screaming at her for something or being annoying, maybe another scene where she's like finally relaxing in a chair or something, or her bed or outside. Basically just generate maybe like 10 different shots for B-roll that could be used in with this video, and we're going to edit this as overlays to the base video that we just generated. So the video we generated is going to be the base video, and we're going to generate B-roll shots to layer on over this in post-production. Now I'm going to say, I want you to generate all of the prompts for generating the B-roll in Cdance 2.0, and then fire all of them off into the ArcAds API and sending that out to Claude Code. So now Claude Code will get to work generating this B-roll for us. Okay, now it looks like it put together 10 different shots for a shot list for us, and the duration of each one, the references that'll be used. So we've got our character Mara and the product, and actually what's going to be happening in each shot. And it just fired off all 10 jobs in parallel. So let's take a look, and I think we can see them in ArcAds actually being generated here. And there they are. This is great. So we can actually see all the prompts being used. So we're gonna let those generate. All right, looks like we got the B-roll shots done. They all look super good. They all don't have audio, but they are just a handful of different shots of like the product, of the main character. We've got her like stressed out. We've got some like kids yelling at her, you know, opening the jar and pouring the gummies out. Like the brand and all of that is still there. This one looks really good of her like opening it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back to Claude Code, and I'm going to ask it to basically like layer these shots of B-roll into the original video, and it's going to look awesome. So I'm going to say, great, these shots look awesome. Can you now like analyze all of these shots and determine which sections belong in this 15-second video as B-roll? Then I want you to edit together a few variations of a final video that has these B-roll layered in over the original video at the key points in the transcript when it makes the most sense. Okay, sending that out to Claude Code. So now you can see Claude Code is basically like analyzing all of the shots that it pulled out of the videos so it can get a sense of what is going on. All right, so it was able to basically analyze all of the shots and then pull the transcripts and figure out what belongs where, and it created 3 variations for me to choose from. Let's take a look.
Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr. Paid Social gummies. 20 minutes in, my shoulders just drop. Game changer.
Wow. Okay, that is actually insane that like I didn't open this in CapCut. I didn't do anything. It just grabbed the B-roll and just like figured out where it was the right point to layer it in and just did this all for me. Let's check out this other one.
Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr. Paid Social gummies. 20 minutes in, my shoulders just drop. Game changer. Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr. Paid Social gummies. 20 minutes in, my shoulders just drop. Game changer.
Wow. Pretty awesome. Now I feel like maybe we want to add some like background music, maybe some trending lo-fi. So let's see if we can do that. Now I want you to generate some background music for these variations, maybe something that's just kind of like lo-fi beats, pretty chill, just music in the background. Can you generate this music using 11 Labs? So it's checking to see if we have an 11 Labs API key. This was something I forgot to throw in when we first started this. So if you don't have an 11 Labs account, you can make one. I think it's like $5 a month, and you get access to their API. So basically, if you have an account, it'll look something like this. So down here in the bottom left, there's a developers button and then API keys. And then I can create a key. So I'm going to create one. We'll call this ArcAds Claude Code API. And we want, I'm not going to restrict it, monthly create key. It's going to give us the key. Then we're going to throw it into the environment variables again. I'm going to ask Claude, hey, can you open that environment variable file for me to paste the key into again? The only reason I asked Claude to do this is because I'm lazy and it's nice just to have it automatically open it for me. Can you add an 11 Labs placeholder into this for me to paste into and then reopen it for me? All right, I'm going to say I've added the API key to the environment variable file. All right, sweet. So now it's firing this off to the API and creating 3 variations of the music for us. It's doing this like super quick, like in a couple seconds, it's generating the music for us, which is awesome. And we've got 3 different lo-fi vibes that we can listen to. Let's check them out. Oh, hell yeah. There's one. Yeah, that's good too. I like version 3 as well. Not bad. All right, so to get a lot of creative variation, I'm just going to ask Claude, can you have 3 versions of each Final Cut video, one with each of these music types? So the 9 final mixes. So that's another thing that's pretty dope is like it makes getting some of these like iterations and variations super fast, where we're gonna end up with 9, which is awesome. Something that's cool here is it knows to bring down the volume of the music to not overpower the dialogue. So it looks like they all popped up right here. Let's see how some of them look.
Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr. Paid Social gummies. 20 minutes in, my shoulders just drop. Game changer. Okay, if
Pretty
one
sick.
more person if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr. Paid Social gummies. 20 minutes in, my shoulders just drop. Game changer.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, these all look pretty freaking good for 100, like literally 100% AI generated. Like Claude Code did all of this for me. So if we wanted to, we could even have like it add some text overlays, some captions. So let's do that. Now I want you to add captions to the video in the bottom third of the video. All right, Claude Code did what we wanted. Now we have all of these with captions.
Okay, if one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it.
Amazing.
So I started these Mr.
And they all look
Okay, if one more person screams mom before
great.
If one more person screams mom before 7 a.m., I'm losing it. So I started these Mr.
So yeah, we were able to create basically a front to back UGC style video for a supplement brand that I created fictionally. But the point is, like, you can create an AI video from start to finish inside of Claude Code, from the scripting, the starting frames, the character building, generating the B-roll, putting it all together, editing it together, adding the subtitles, captions. You can do all in Claude Code now, which is just insane. And like, I'm not going to lie to you and say this took like 2 minutes to make all these videos. It took a while, but while it's doing its thing, you can be working on other stuff, or you can have multiple sessions running. Like I can have 10 different agents working on 10 different video concepts for me and like firing everything off into ArcAds and or whatever other API that you want to use, and generating all the assets and putting them together. And like, you turn into the creative director, and Claude Code just turns into your creative strategists and video editing team. And you can just mass execute and be like, this is the idea, this is what I need, go execute. All right, the next thing I'm gonna show you is how you can actually use Cdance 2.0 through Claude Code to clone a video ad for your own product. So I wanna create an ad for my Mr. Paid Social shoes that I like, you know, it's another fake version or whatever. But if I go, I'm going to just pull up a new tab here. We've got the Mr. Paid Social. Yeah, these ones. So I want to create an ad for these. I want it to be AI, but I want it to look and feel like a video that would be on TikTok. So what I did is I went to TikTok and I just searched like Vans shoes. If you had a different shoe brand or a different shoe like that wasn't like a Vans knockoff or whatever, you could search the style of like shoe that you wanted to find on TikTok. But the point is, like, you're scrolling through TikTok trying to find a video that looks and feels like really organic and native. So what I did was downloaded this video. All right, so we've got a new session of Claude Code open. I have attached the image and the video that I wanted to reference. And now I'm going to say, I want you to analyze the attached video in extreme precision. Like if you're using the vision skill, get like 100 frames or whatever, extract the transcript, like really dissect the video as closely as you can. And then I want you to use the clone video skill that you have to clone this video, but replace it with the product that I attached, the shoes that I attached. All right, sending that prompt. All right, so we've got a lot of good info here. I was able to pull all these different frames from the video itself to understand what's going on with it. We've got the traits of the video that we're trying to transfer. We want certain things to get swapped. Generation mode, we're gonna do Cdance 2, 1 clip, aspect ratio, and an estimated cost. And now we're continuing on to putting together the script. All right, we got some variations to check out. Let's look at this one.
Okay, so Mr. Paid Social literally just dropped these old skis and I had to grab a pair. The whole side is wrapped in the word lac and the print is so clean in person, it actually goes hard. And how cute is the little smiley face on the tongue tab? I'll try to link them, but I'm telling you, these are gonna go fast.
That looks so good. Like in comparison to the original video. Let's check this one out.
Okay, so Mr. Paid Social literally just dropped these old skis and I had to grab a pair. The whole side is wrapped in the word mark and the print is so clean in person, it actually goes hard. And how cute is the little smiley face on the tongue tag? I'll try to link them, but I'm telling you, these are gonna go fast.
I mean, I would give this like a solid 9 out of 10. Any of the imperfections you could easily hide with some other B-roll or like cutting it slightly differently. You could have the same source audio and have different shots, all that stuff. We could even have Claude Code do that. But this is pretty incredible. Like literally you can find any video, like whether it's an organic piece of content, an ad from a competitor, whatever, that someone's running and just repurpose it with your own product or your own offer. Like, and we didn't steal this person's video. Like this isn't her voice. Like this isn't her. It's the same vibe, but like this is just blowing my mind. All right, I'm gonna switch gears really quick and show you how you can be creating these animation style ads using this Claude Code skill. These ads are popping up all over the internet right now in places like LinkedIn and X. And they're probably some of the most brand safe ads you can create with AI because they're obviously fake. They're not trying to convince you of anything or trying to deceive you or pretend like they're real people. And they're just super fun and really good for storytelling. I'm gonna show you a couple examples really quick so that you can see what's possible. So one really fun use case with these claymation style ads is similar to what we've done already, where you can find a video out in the wild that you really like and then basically have Claude Code convert that into like a claymation or Pixar style animation ad. So here's a video I found on the internet that I thought was like a really strong ad for this like bug catcher thing. And then I'm going to show you the claymation version of it.
Single mosquito in my yard, and it's been weeks. This thing basically wipes out mosquitoes and bugs in up to a 1 acre area. It's got a built-in solar panel, so you never have to plug it in or charge it. Just set it to auto mode, and it turns on at night and charges during the day. It's completely wireless, so you can put it anywhere. Backyard, patio, even camping. And it's not just mosquitoes. Flies, wasps, all those annoying bugs. After I started using this, people kept asking me how I don't have bugs out here. I just point to this. If you're tired of getting eaten alive every summer, you're going to want one of these. They always sell out once it gets hot. So I've got it linked right here.
So I thought that was a pretty cool ad. A lot of like features and whatnot. I think this might have like shown up organically in my TikTok or, you know, it had a lot of views or something. So I knew it was doing well. And then, so this is the final version of that. That's called claymation. Check this out.
I haven't seen a single mosquito in my yard and it's been weeks. This thing basically wipes out mosquitoes and bugs in up to a 1 acre area. Built-in solar panel, totally wireless, put it anywhere. And it's not just mosquitoes. Flies, wasps, all those annoying bugs. After I started using this, people kept asking how I don't have bugs out here. I just point to this. If you're tired of getting eaten alive every summer, you're gonna want one of these. They always sell out once it gets hot. So I've got it linked right here.
So pretty cool little video, little claymation version of that. You know, it hit like a handful of the key points, but the process of converting this into like a little claymation story ad, I think is what's really cool to showcase here, because all of those clips were generated separately. The audio was separate, like the voiceover was separate, the bug sounds, all the sound effects, all that was separate and generated through Claude Code and then edited together. Even added the captions. So here's the project folder for this exact video. You can see that we have multiple clips, so it generated all of these separately.
Meet Solar Zap, the bug zapper that actually...
It's totally solar powered, so it charges all day in the sun.
So something you'll notice here is on these generated videos, they had their own audio, and I wanted to control the entire narrative. So what I did is I had Claude Code create a voiceover here. So we've got this voiceover version that is kind of like synced to each clip, but that way we can keep the voiceovers consistent and then also layer them on the video that's already been created.
If you're tired of getting eaten alive every time you step outside.
So we've got all these voiceovers. It also is able to generate the background music for me. So here we've got the normalized music here. It's just like a little bit of like acoustic vibe, whatever, but it generated that with 11 labs. We also got all these sound effects, like the spraying down. This is just like random outside effects. We've got the sound of the bug flying around. So like Claude Code literally generated all of these assets for me, even the captions. And then it was able to like put all of it together into this final version of the video that was 33 seconds long. And I felt like the final version actually turned out super well. And here's what this looked like inside of my Claude Code environment in real time. So I basically pointed it to this original video and I said, I want you to recreate this ad as a claymation ad using the ArcAds API. And then basically it goes through, analyzes the video, figures out like all the key points, recreates a script. Then I was able to have it generate like the voiceover script, put it together with everything, add the audio and the effects, change like the like how loud things were, and then create that final version for me. Here's another AI ad. It's more of like the Pixar style that I used for promoting this like ashwagandha, you know, Mr. Paid Social stress relief phony product, fake product that I made with AI. But basically all I did was gave it this image and then said I want you to create like a Pixar style ad promoting it. Here's what it came up with. Check this out.
Your brain shouldn't be doing this.
I keep you up at 3 a.m. replaying that one text.
So she tried something.
2 weeks of these, and my brain finally went quiet.
Inside, ashwagandha gently untangles racing thoughts, dims overfiring neurons, and lets your nervous system breathe.
Try Mr. Paid Social Ashwagandha.
Premium stress relief.
So this one also kind of a cool way that it put it together. It generated all the clips like separately within Cdance. So like this clip was its own clip. This girl was its own clip. The brain was its own clip. And then it was able to edit all these together. When I looked at the video by itself, there was like a lot of gaps in the video. So then I asked Claude Code to create a voiceover to like layer in between the gaps. So that's why at the beginning you hear it say like, your brain shouldn't be doing this.
Your brain shouldn't be doing this.
Like that was added after. And then this like, so she tried something.
She tried something.
2 weeks of these.
So there's kind of this like narrative storytelling happening, unfolding like in between the characters talking, which can work really well. And then there wasn't any like piano music or anything. So we had Claude Code also generate the music for it. So I just said, can you generate background music track using 11 labs? And then it spun up that like wellness piano background music MP3. It let me listen to it before. Basically, yeah, it was able to, again, put all these assets together, mix the volumes to the right amount, add the captions. It even added this like end card here using hyperframes. So like if I wanted to, I could have said like put the product at the end here, or make like a product ending card, and it would like design that for you. So yeah, I mean, these Pixar style ads are super cool. The Claude Code environment has some skills that I've built out just through testing it through these versions of the ads that I made. So feel free to like go crazy, make some animation ads. Right now we've got the claymation and the Pixar style. You could easily give it a video of a different type of animation ad, ask it to recreate it for you. I think that's the beauty of a system like this, is like it has its built-in kind of knowledge base that I've given it, but then it's completely up to you to do with it what you want in terms of like having it recreate new styles or reverse engineer certain creatives that you see in the wild. All right, so in this last section of this video, we're gonna get to the part that's probably my favorite. I'm gonna show you how you can take all these AI assets that you've created within Claude Code and actually launch them into your ad accounts without even touching Ads Manager. So on the right, I just really have Ads Manager up here for like demonstration purposes. You can see like I have ads in my account. I just used this process to upload a bunch of these like AI animation videos. You can see it like created a naming convention for me. It uploaded all the creatives for me. These are all like AI animation videos like I'm currently running, promoting my own school. And earlier in the video, we had created like all of these statics. So we've got like 39 static image ads that we need to create. And I am not going to go into Ads Manager and upload these images one at a time into one ad at a time and write ad copy and do all of that, because we can have Claude Code do all of this for us. And what's even crazier here is we can have it understand what's currently working in our ad account here. Like I can have it pull data from the ad account for however long I want, extract the ad copy frameworks that are working in the ad account already, and then I can have it analyze the ads, like actually look at these new ads that I'm wanting to launch, like this ad, to understand the context of the ad, and then rewrite new ad copy for this specific ad using what's already working in the ad account. So you get hyper specific ad copy that is per every single ad that you're launching without having to even touch a single thing. So how do we do this? I've got this folder. I am going to grab the location here, go into Claude Code, open up a new session. So here's what I'm going to say to Claude Code. I want you to take this folder of image ads and upload them into my Mr. Paid Social ad account into a new campaign called AI Generated Statics. I want you to use the ad set structure from the top spending ad set in the ad account. First, I want you to analyze all of the ad creatives that are currently doing well in this ad account and figure out which versions of ad copy are performing best. And when I say ad copy, I mean primary text. And then I want you to take every image from this folder that I'm about to give you, study it, analyze the images, and write me 5 variations of ad copy to go along with each image ad based off of what's already working in my ad account right now. And I'm also going to tell it, I want you to group these image ads appropriately by creative concept. Understand each image so that you can group them accordingly. I also want you to implement a naming convention so that it's easy for me to understand what each image ad is all about. Okay, and I'm going to give it the destination where all of those image ads are, and I'm going to click enter. So right now it's launching the meta ad builder skill to handle this. I've got to change the permissions to auto mode here so that it just continues to do this without me babysitting it. And once again, like this is one of the things I love about Claude Code is it's kind of going through the skill, but it hit an error where it wasn't able to pull up copy fields, but now it's pulling it from a different spec, meaning it just like it knows how to navigate the API when it hits like a barrier and just figure it out. This is way better than if you were trying to like vibe code and like a rigid SaaS that always had to follow a certain like way of doing things. The agent we've got going in Claude Code can iteratively figure this out. So if like Meta makes an update to their API or whatever, it's just gonna figure it out. Like you don't have to go back and forth. Like I've built a little micro SaaS on top of Meta's API where I had to literally go in and like reverse engineer the entire thing to figure out how to even structure these calls. And now Claude Code can just like do all of that for you, which is just insane. And to visualize this for you about like what this is actually doing, in my ad account, I can show like a breakdown of the top ad copy here. So it shows like all 5 variations of ad copy for every single ad. And essentially what Claude Code is doing is pulling all this for me in the background so that I don't have to worry about any of it. And if you didn't have ad copy in an ad account for it to analyze and figure out, this Claude Code environment is trained on all of my top ad copy frameworks with examples here. So I have this Google sheet. This is just where I keep all this stuff handy, but I have all of these ad copy frameworks that I've used over the years or I've seen in the wild that I think are really good. And I think there's what, like 18 or 16 different versions of ad copy and like ways to like structure them. And this whole thing is in the knowledge base for this repo. And if you don't have like ads that you want it to learn from, it'll learn from this document instead and write you, like it'll fill up the 5 versions of ad copy that you get within Meta. So if I click on edit here on this ad within Meta, you can see that there are 5 different variations of primary text that you can use. I always recommend people to use all 5 of these because it's like free bets at the table. Similar with headlines, but what you can do is leverage 5 different styles of ad copy for each one of these, and then you're just testing significantly more angles and ways of doing all this. So that's what Claude Code is working on for us right now. All right, so now Claude Code is asking us some questions to clarify on certain things, like what budget should the new ad set campaign launched? It ships is paused. Let's do just a $50 CBO campaign. This is all just for mock, so doesn't really matter what I'm putting in here, but you would put in like the settings exactly that you wanted to use. It's creating the campaign and ad set now. All paused. It looks like it grouped these into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ad sets. We've got a native phone, desktop UI versus comparison ones, tactile artifacts, editorial, product spec sheets, and poster bold statements. And it shows all the different ads. So we've got 11 in this one, all the way down to 2 in just the poster one. Looks like it gave us a campaign ID. Let's see if this exists in the ad account by pasting that ID in here, and we can see it's created, it's set as paused. We've got it at $50 campaign budget like we told Claude Code. This is awesome. If I go to the ad set level, we've got, looks like it's creating 1 ad set for all concepts first. And if I click in here, it should show, yep, it's got my Mr. Paid Social pixel, the purchase event. Everything is selected exactly how I have it set up on my top performing ad set that I told it to copy from. Right now it's deploying all 32 ads. And it says it might take 5 to 10 minutes to get all this done. And what's super cool is if I like go into Finder and go into the folder where like all this lives, which is like this Meta AI statics folder that it created for this, it shows me like all of the like raw data that it made. So like this is like the ad copies that it made with the headlines and descriptions. And you can see that they're different for every single unique image ad, which is pretty wild. It even shows me like the top ads data that it pulled. So like this is like all of the data that it scraped from my ad account and is using for references for generating all this stuff. So I just refreshed this ad set and I can see all of these ads. We've got 24 built already in here that have the creatives. It has, if I click edit, we can actually see all of the different variations of ad copy that it wrote for us. Pretty sweet. And like here's a preview of what that looks like. And I cannot emphasize enough, like for a normal media buyer to set up 24 ads manually in their ad account, writing 5 variations of ad copy that are specific to the creative that you're running would take hours. Like this would take so long for you to do. And you can just tell Claude Code, here's what I want you to do. Here's the creatives. Here's how I want you to structure them. Here's how I want you to write the ad copy for them. Here's the data. Here's the context. Go do it. Like hand Claude Code everything that you would normally hand off to a VA. Give it the API key and let it build, and it'll just do the work for you. This is something you would hand off to a junior media buyer or a VA, and it just does it. And like, you don't have to sit and babysit it. You can like go work on other stuff. And this is building ads for you in the background. It's wild. All right, so let's address the elephant in the room with Claude Code and attaching it to your ad account and all that stuff. Is it safe? You know, we've had people that I think most people have seen online, people sharing stories about getting their ad accounts disabled because of connecting it to Claude Code or Claude. Some of these, it's like, I would say like some of these aren't even from Claude Code. Like some of them are, you know, like I was working in an account recently with a client, they had their ad account go down and eventually they finally got it back. And the reasons why it was disapproved were it was a false positive, meaning like it got disabled by accident or something triggered their system, which like doing a lot of automated work can make that happen. But in those instances, you can get your ad accounts back. The main thing to consider when using Claude Code for doing stuff like this is not to allow it to autonomously change your budgets and your bids, because that's when you're going to get like hundreds and hundreds of like micro tweaks and changes every single day. And that's what's going to be more likely to flag everything. Also, if you run this as your own within your own app, like we did at the beginning of the video, we got the API key, we created our own little app. That's a much safer environment than if you're using like maybe an MCP server or something like that. I've been using this. I haven't had a single issue so far. That being said, there's always a risk. So if you are managing a massive account for a massive brand, I would say if you're wanting to layer in AI activities into that, maybe consider starting out with a new ad account that you can set up specifically for AI and testing this out first so you can get comfortable with it and make sure that it's not going to go down before you potentially jeopardize your entire main ad account. We covered a ton in this video. We went through getting your Claude Code system set up using the GitHub repo, building a Meta API app to get the API key, connecting everything together, using Claude Code to do research on competitors' ads, creating a ton of image ad templates and cloning image ads in the wild. We went through generating numerous styles of video ads using the ArcAds API, including AI UGC, cartoon ads, and really cloning any style ad that you would want. This is the ultimate media buyer system from end to end inside of Claude Code, and you can get it completely for free from this GitHub repo. Any third-party APIs being used in this repo, like ArcAds, 11 Labs, anything else that was in here, you will have to pay whatever your usage is, so it's not completely free in that sense. But I'm giving you a huge head start here. If you're interested in learning more about how to set these kinds of systems up for yourself, or if you want to see what else I've got cooking, consider joining my private community on Skool. It's called the AI Ad Alchemists. We've got over 500 media buyers, founders, agency owners, and AI enthusiasts in there, continuing to build out the coolest stuff for their workflows. That's all I've got for this video, but if you got anything out of it, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm a career media buyer gone full-time content creator, so every subscriber helps. All the information you need from the video is in that description below, and I'll catch you on the next video.